11 now and we're on our way to the hospital. They usually do the procedure over lunchtime, so we've got to be there by 12, and I'm not allowed to film in the hospital, so I'll let you know how it goes. So it's 3:20 p.m. We're just leaving the hospital now. I'm feeling a bit tired and my back really hurts and I'm just feeling a bit sick and I've got a headache. So I'm really looking forward to go home and just lie on my bed. So I'm at home now and I'm resting. But what happened was, when we got to the day surgery, I had to go straight onto the ward because I'm not allowed to be waiting in the waiting areas while I'm on treatment anyway, because I'm more prone to catching infections and illnesses. So I went straight onto the ward and they had to check my pulse rate, they had to check my temperature and my blood pressure. They had to check my blood pressure. They then weighed me so they could make sure they knew my weight to then know how much anaesthetic to give me. And then one of the doctors came round and they did the usual checks that would have been done on me at clinic. So they just checked my back and they checked my stomach and stuff like that. And they just then asked me if I've had any side effects and if I had any concerns about certain things. So you then have to go through the consent paperwork and they say the side effects that I can have and what they're going to be doing, and I have to sign it and one of my parents has to sign it to say they give consent, and then I just have to wait for someone from the theatre team to come and get me. Then once the person's come to get me, either my mum or my dad can go through with me. This time it was my dad's turn to come with me, and we go into the room where all of the doctors that are going to be doing the stuff on me are in there, and I have to lie on my side. It's usually my left side, and I have to put my back up against a kind of like a bed guard, and I have a pillow. They bring a pillow for me. And they usually have a warm blanket as well, which is quite good. And they can choose to give me the anaesthetic through my line, but this time they said that I should probably have the gas, considering when I'm on maintenance I'm going to be having the gas to be put to sleep. So this time I had the gas to put me to sleep. My dad was in there with me, and yeah, you just had to breathe into it, and kind of smelled like mint. And that just, I think it made me feel a bit more sick waking up, because I don't usually feel this sick, but I don't want to have the cannula in my hand, so I prefer having the gas. I also have to have ondansetron, which is an anti-sickness medicine, and they put that in through my line when I was asleep, when I went off to sleep, but that just means when you wake up, you don't actually throw up, and it doesn't make you feel as sick as you would without it, so that's good. The procedure itself doesn't actually take too long. They get a needle and they put it into between two of my lower vertebrae in my back, and they just put some chemotherapy, methotrexate, into my spinal fluid, and that just makes sure that I get no cancer cells in my spinal fluid. Once the procedure's done, they take me into recovery, where they make sure that I wake up from the anaesthetic okay, and then they take me onto the ward, and there's certain things I have to do before I'm allowed to leave. So I have to have drank something, I have to have eaten something, I have to gone to the toilet, and I must have been there for an hour, and then it's okay for us to leave. They also check my obs to make sure I'm okay, and I normally get to put in a food order with my mum, and she gets the food ready in the morning and we take it to the hospital with us. I asked for spicy chicken this time. It's usually spicy chicken, and before we could leave this time we had to just pop up to clinic just to grab some of my meds. Back now, but I have a headache still, I still feel a bit sick, and my back still is sore. I have a plaster on there, and they said it was oozing a bit, so I just have a piece of wadding over the top of it, but underneath there it will just be a needle mark, but I have to take it off after 24 hours because it could cause an infection otherwise. I usually have a drunk octopus on my back, but this obviously isn't as interesting, but all good now.